What's up, everybody? It's Caleb and Sam with Gamer Fate. This Q&A we announced like a few months ago, actually, and just hadn't got around to it. But I, still wanted to do it because some of you were expecting this. Some of the questions actually got like really jumbled up. I was getting them from here and from there and from all over and from, YouTube, like channel messages and all sorts of stuff. So it was kind of hard to keep track of. And since it's been such a long time, I kind of went back and just summarized in my own words, like the common themes, the common questions that we were getting. So that's what you are getting, but feel free if you're here in the live chat to ask your own questions, and feel free also to, if this is after the fact, you can ask questions in the comments too. If we didn't address a certain thing, that's fine. We like to try to reply to those comments if we can. Right off the bat, it's a little early here. You can probably tell who's more of the morning person and who's more of the night owl out of this brotherhood. But
I mean, we did go to bed at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, I guess I can. Yeah,
Super
I can
Mario
get
RPG,
behind that.
yeah.
Playing some like Super Nintendo games, but
yeah.
sometimes you just gotta be a child again. But
or
every day,
student,
or you just live as a child. But, okay, so I guess we will jump right in then.
Sounds fantastic. It smells like an airport.
And yeah. Oh yes, we're outside, as you can see. So if you hear weird birds and stuff like that, and that bothers you, I apologize. But hopefully it'll be peaceful and relaxing and not annoying. Got cats roaming around here too. But
No.
All right. So one question we got, and we've gotten, I think in several different forms several times, is, are there other Christian channels like this that I can subscribe to? And that's kind of a surprising question to me because I spend a lot of time on YouTube. So I guess I didn't realize that a lot of people, like, it's hard to believe that somebody would find my channel without finding like 10 other channels first that were other great Christian channels. So I'm really glad to have you, and that's a great question to ask. Over the last few months, we've been trying to do our best to kind of help you get to know some other channels, but we've got some here to list also. So going down the list, some of these are big channels, some of these are small channels. Most of these are channels that I regularly watch or check into. And then a few of them are ones that are popular that I haven't really watched much, but I will list them anyways. But one of my favorites, absolute favorites, a lot of people will ask like different tools to study the Bible. And I absolutely love the channel called The Bible Project. They do these sweet animations for different books of the Bible, different chapters, different themes. Have you ever watched The Bible Project? Sam's not as much, he doesn't watch as much like of these types of channels as I do. You like do your devotional God time in kind of different ways than me, which is totally okay if you don't. But some of these I know you've seen. But yeah, they do like these sweet animations. I mean, their animation, I used to be a huge animation head. I actually had to decide whether to go into animation or education, which is drastically different things. But I used to, as a hobby, do a lot of animation, so I have absolutely high respect for the art of it. And so this channel is on point, and they just are awesome. What?
On point.
On point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Another one is Desiring God's channel. They've also got an awesome website. So John Piper has his teaching and his ministry has helped me a lot in the past, and their YouTube channel comes out with a lot of cool stuff. Something like that. Those are two bigger channels. I I would call this next channel a medium channel, and very close to my heart is Far Away Distance. We have had Becca on our channel before doing a Bible study hangout, and she is wonderful, and her channel is wonderful. Have you watched Far Away Distance before? A little bit? Or have you? I know you've watched the
I've watched
Hangout.
the Hangout.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah, great channel. Far Away Distance. Go subscribe. You won't regret it. Now, I know you've met this next person.
I've done the Hangout.
because you've been a part of the Hangout. So, Kelly, I don't know whether to say Christian Girl Vlogs or Kelly Carolini. Carolini? I probably said it right the first time, but I don't know why I hesitated myself. But check out her channel. Great personality, hilarious, a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, subscribe to her channel. Don't let the Christian Girl Vlogs thing throw you off. It's really a channel for everyone.
Yeah.
But it just started with maybe a little bit more focus on the female side of things, but yeah, it's kind of grown over time, I believe. So next, another good friend, Jackie Lee, from Once Upon a Church. Yeah, also has done a hangout. So those three have all done Bible study hangouts. You can check out on the channel and get to know them a little bit, and go check out their channels. I suggest to you with Christian channels, okay? Something about YouTube, it's like, for me at least, I used to be, I've kind of gotten over it, but so hesitant about like hitting that subscribe button. It was like I don't know. It was like, do they really deserve this? Do I really want this in my feed? Like, I've since kind of changed to decide that it's maybe better to give them the benefit of the doubt, and then if it's not for you, like, unsubscribe. But I suggest subscribing to all these people and seeing, if you get something from it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really just can't stand to have it in your inbox, then you can always take it out. But I always suggest filling your feed with Christian stuff. The more you see it, the more you're thinking, and the better it is. For me, I try to flood it out with those types of channels so that my heart is in a positive place, and I'm learning and growing and getting to know people. And yeah, so I suggest you do that. So check out Once Upon a Church. I also want to mention, before saying this next one, that these channels, all of them that I've listed so far, and most of these, if you go to the Gamer Faith channel page and look on the side there at the channels that I have listed as recommended channels, you'll be able to find all of these. So if you're having trouble searching for them, then go there and find them. I mentioned that specifically because this next channel we've never had as a guest. It's a smaller channel, but I do recommend you check it out. My good friend, and you're getting to know him too through our Facebook page or whatever, Christian. Yeah, his name is Christian. He's got a channel called Child of God. If you search Child of God, you're going to get like a million other videos about different stuff. So I suggest going to the Gamer Faith channel page and looking over there and checking him out. Great personality, really nice guy. Highly recommend you check him out. Another one is That Christian Blogger. What?
I just had to add my input right now because this is more your. No, just dancing. That was my input.
That was your input? Sorry. Sam will be talking more on these other subjects that are more up his alley. So, yeah, That Christian Blogger is a newer channel that I've been looking into. Well, it's not a newer channel, but it's newer for me. And then there's another one called 71. Those two good channels. I'm still getting to know those channels, but I highly recommend you check them out. And then two channels that I don't really watch. It's not exactly my personal viewing thing at the moment, but I have respect for, and I know constantly pop up in related channels to my channel, and I know a lot of people who very active regard these channels. So they might be for you. One is the Yumi Girl, and one is Katie Gregory. Katie Gregory's channel is pretty large, a lot of subscribers, so you may already know that. And the Yumi Girl also pretty big to medium size. So with all that being said, there's a whole list of Christian channels. I'm sure I missed like a million of them. Feel free, if you've got a Christian channel, to list them. In fact, I know for a fact that there's some in the back of my head that I didn't list. So just stay tuned, and I always try to give out recommendations for that, but I don't want to take up the whole time talking all about that because Sam is sitting in silence.
Sorry, I thought of my least favorite song in the world when you said that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know what song that is. Okay.
I'm not gonna go into that.
All right.
All right.
Next question: what is Sam's least favorite song? How do you grow in subscribers when you were beginning on YouTube? You want to throw some stuff out while I have coffee?
All right. So there's a lot of methods to this that are important because we ourselves as YouTubers have gone through the pains of beginning a channel and dealing with the rate of growth, which is typically not booming and hopping right off the start.
Right.
So minor things to kind of keep in mind as you're starting a channel are consistency with your video release, probably diversity in your content so that you have a whole bunch of different things that people can find and search and come across your channel with. And with that, making your videos more searchable, which in that way, like, there's a lot of things you can do. But
that's more my
that's
my thing, my contribution. I'm the one who sits staring at the screen, doing research and figuring out how to make things searchable and how to tag things and how to title things and what topics are relevant, what topics are too relevant, what ones are right in the sweet spot where somebody could search that and I even have a chance of ranking. And like, there's all these types of things. I have seen other channels that seem to do it in completely different ways. Like all their video titles, they don't look searchable at all, and yet they are growing in subscribers. And so there are different ways of doing it. I think the main key there from that point of view is making good content. People like your content and slowly start to find it. Like it'll be a snowball, but if the good content is there, it helps. I personally go from like a searchability angle is where I have found the most success. But not all the channels that I collaborate with and work with do it the same way. The downside of doing it my way is you get videos with 90,000 views and you get videos with like 100 views. So
and your way takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time. Just
necessary.
Yeah, with the specific niche that we are in, it is a little harder to just make videos and expect people to be seeking them out without like a specific topic. So a lot of times I'll have a specific topic instead of being very, very, very broad and thinking if I have this broad idea, it might be worth making several different videos with really specific subjects to it. Like one example is the topic of like lust is really popular on the channel because it's a hard addiction to break. And if I just did a video on lust in general, that might be just too huge. So I kind of narrow it down into smaller pieces. But okay, all of that just spat out a bunch of like on the surface stuff there. I don't think that that's the most important takeaway for you if you are a new YouTuber. And if you're not a YouTuber, this still applies to you with a lot of things in life, I think. And it's about figuring out why you're doing this. For a YouTube channel, you have to have a purpose that is bigger than just growth or subscribing. You'll never reach that mark, and you'll get discouraged, and it won't be worth it, I think, unless you have something bigger motivating you, just in YouTube in general, or for a lot of topics. Specifically for Christian YouTubers, I think you need to remember that this is a service to God. So wherever you are in God's plan, that is where God wants you, and trust in God. So if you've got one subscriber and you're really reaching, out to that one subscriber, that one person matters, and you are doing a service to God. This isn't about growing and getting popular and all of that stuff. So I really had to keep that in mind back when starting Gamer Faith. Before it was even a YouTube channel, it was a website. I had to remember that 20 followers was just as important as 20,000 followers, in God's eyes, if I was being faithful, because it was helping me. I was growing closer with those people, and also in that, being flexible to adapt and change to what God, wants from you. Gamer Faith now is a completely different thing than it was when it started. I think God wanted it to be this when it started, and as God has said, okay, it's time for a change, we've tried to be flexible. And in doing that, and in trying to serve God as the main point, that has been, I think, the most important part of keeping our channel healthy. Because the views don't necessarily count, but the comments that say, you've really helped me, or this has changed my life, that's where you're like, thank you, Lord, for giving me this opportunity to be a part of somebody else's life. It's like, why me? Why do I get this chance? But thank you. And so I would say just stay faithful to God and remember your purpose. Go ahead.
Yeah, anything that you're doing for the kingdom, God's going to be watching out for you, and it'll be blessed because you're doing his work. And a YouTube channel is an excellent way to do that. It's such a popular form of media these days. So spreading his word on YouTube is a great way to do that. So to keep yourself motivated to continue, which is really important, because while on physical aspect, you might not see numbers growing or charts increasing and all that stuff, YouTube analytics, you can keep your mental status good by encouraging yourself with knowing that God's got your back. And even if you're just inputting into one person's life, it's amazing. That you can help change this one person's life. Or if it's not that drastic, you're planting a seed so that maybe in the future something will go on in their hearts and they'll come to Christ or something. And it's just to think about those things amongst your work is really probably the best part.
Yeah, I mean, you can measure success in different ways, and it might not be big numbers or whatever, but you remember why you're doing it and count those blessings, and just remember it's a service to God. One of the commenters mentions Blimey Cow. That's another Christian channel, so I assume that's what they're suggesting. We can make that big, but we got some comments coming in. I'm trying to check. Whoa, what are you doing to my screen?
There, perfect.
Bam Bam just starts slamming windows all over the place. Oh,
made the setup more readable and approachable. Just
yeah.
like your beard.
All right, sorry, I'm trying to catch up on some stuff. Okay.
So A and B said message retracted.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. But yeah. So one, you mentioned being stuck at like 128 subscribers. I guess I will touch on that for a second. I've been there. It took like a year to get to 100 subscribers, probably.
Which a year is a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Time.
Like a year, a lot of work. And part of this experience is with a different YouTube channel with a different focus. I was more focused on gaming, so like we really tried hard with that, right?
Goodness, yeah.
But in the end, and we saw growth. And if we would have kept at it, we probably would have saw more growth. But it was like the amount of work, and it wasn't as directly a service to God. And so eventually it just lost its purpose. It's like, dude, this is so much energy and so much work that it's kind of sitting there now.
Plus the community that genre of YouTube channel is in is so oversaturated that to get a boost off the ground is...
Yeah, and plus just like the community in general of like commenters and people like that. Gaming channel, by the way. Man, you guys, I really appreciate Gamer Faith commenters and how graceful and kind you guys are.
Gosh.
When you compare them to the negativity you can find in different types of channels. You guys are stinking
the rock stars.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Don't get discouraged if you're stuck at like 100 subscribers. You gotta remember there's probably somebody with 2 subscribers that's like, man, if only I had 100. That's another thing. The sense of like getting there. I always thought if I hit 100 subscribers, I'll be happy. And then I was like, well, if I hit 500, then it's like, well, if I'm at 1,000, you just kind of have to ignore that number and continue to do it as a service to God. We're no big authorities, by the way, and we're not proclaiming to be like YouTube experts. We're, under 2,000 subscribers. Hopefully in the next few months we'll hit that 2,000 mark. It's not huge or anything like that, but it's a blessing for us, and it has helped. I just want those of you who are stuck at that 0 to 100 mark subscribers, whatever, just stay consistent, do your research, remember why you're doing it, try to grow, try to improve, and keep at it. It eventually, it's a slow roll at that point. Then once you get bigger, though, it starts getting faster. I guess to put that in perspective, like it took about 2 years probably for Gamer Faith to hit 1,000 subscribers, and then it's taken about 6 months. In about 6 months, I think it'll probably be at about 2,000 subscribers. So it snowballs, and it does go faster the more you have. But it's not about that number. I'm just saying that so you don't get discouraged. I don't want you to be discouraged if you're doing a service to God. Keep at it. It's worth it. So, all right. What's your favorite part of doing YouTube? You got an answer?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So specifically with Gamer Faith, it's just really nice to know that you're doing something for the kingdom. Like, I don't have a job yet, and I go to school, and I'm a relatively busy person. So sometimes I feel down on myself because I feel like I could be doing more for the kingdom of God. I'm sitting on my butt and watching TV or something like that. But this summer has been quite a turnaround of that, kind of. Volunteering at like Mel Trotter and stuff like that. But no, it's a very fulfilling feeling to do stuff like this. And it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's fun to see people, especially with Gamer Faith and the nice community that comes in with it.
All of them are back there being naughty kitty, but
it's good to see encouraging people and people encouraging others and people talking to one another and just a community, a very nice social aspect that's different from what you might see on a lot of other social media places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys are very kind. I have made a lot of friends, a lot of friends. Some of you commenters and viewers, some of you other channels. I've collaborated with people. I've got to know people. I have, you know, X amount of extra contacts in my phone or on, you know, wherever. It's awesome that I can make friends through something like this and really get to know people from all over the world. That is one really great, really rewarding thing. You get to know these people, you get to know their stories, you get different backgrounds, different cultures, and it's really nifty. Like you said, it's also an outlet for like, it's kind of a fun way for me to study the Bible myself. So like,
Oh, that too. Yeah.
It's like I do study my, you know, the Bible in like alone time. I think that's very important. But it's also, this is a fun way for me to like, I'm a sort of creative minded person or motivated person. So like making something or like producing something and having community and that really is up my alley. So if I can incorporate studying my Bible into something like a project like that, it's really fun for me and it helps me grow. I'm not this big pool of wisdom, you know, like the opposite. I'm always growing and learning and messing up and getting stronger and all that stuff. And YouTube is something that has helped me motivate me to be challenged to continue to grow. So those are amongst my favorite things. We got some stuff in the comments. Is that what you're getting at?
Oh, I was thinking about that, and what was I gonna say? Oh, especially when, you know, coming up with topics for a video or something, it gives you a chance to really dwell and think about what things mean with a godly perspective, and like you become more wise and like knowledgeable, I guess. It just, the longer you sit there and you dwell on the importance of this and that and like how it relates, and it's just, and Gamer Faith or other Christian channels are a good way to do that. Hold on. You can keep going.
Letting the kitty in. Couple questions in the comments here. One of which is, any tips on collaborating with others on YouTube? How do you ask them? That's later on my list, so stay tuned. Yes, we'll definitely talk about that. And any suggestions on incorporating Bible studies on my channel, even though it's mostly beauty related? Okay, so we're not a beauty related channel. Big surprise.
Speak for us.
But just be ready to grow and adapt your channel to what God asks you to do. So a lot of people consider this channel like a Christian channel that uses the outlet of gaming. That's a tiny, teeny piece of it. But if you actually watch the channel, you'll find that gaming doesn't have all that much to do with it, other than the fact that we're total nerd geeks and we like video games, we like movies. So like, we use a lot of analogies and stuff like that. We're sort of part of that culture or interest group, but really this is a channel about growing closer to God. But if you look at our beginning videos, there are like a lot of gaming related videos on there, like tips on Plants vs. Zombies, stuff like that.
The most successful video.
It is one of the more, which is weird, but and over time I kind of realized that's not really what this channel is. This isn't a gaming channel with some Christian stuff. This is a channel about growing closer to God, and
it's a Christian channel with some gaming stuff.
It's a Christian channel from people who aren't, you know, have gaming minds, I guess. So the level up joke is in there, but it's not gonna throw anybody off if they're not that sort of thing. So incorporating Bible studies into a beauty channel, if it's primarily a beauty channel, like we kind of went that angle with our Captain Davey Bones channel, where it was like a gaming channel with Christian. We were Christian, so like the perspective of the gaming channel was that. So it was like clean humor, and you know, we would talk about our faith sometimes and stuff like that. Whereas
ask people to like donate to
charities and stuff like that.
Video.
So it really depends, like what is the main focus of the channel. The best thing I can suggest is to just try it and see what you can do. I don't know how you would do that with a beauty channel, but I'm sure you're creative, and I've seen other people do it. So don't be afraid to try a new sort of video and throw it out there. I have seen Christian channels do like makeup reviews, and I'm sure it could be done vice versa. So don't be afraid to show your faith. It's like the most important thing you can show. And
feel free to pray about it and ask God for
True.
direction in
True.
what way you should incorporate him into your channel, because I have a strong feeling that if you were to do that, he'd answer you.
Yep. Great. That's the first thing you should do. Yeah. As I always say, don't just listen to me because I'm jabbering away. God's got your number one answers. He knows what's up. I don't. So yeah, pray about it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I have done that many times and gotten answers. Be ready to get that answer, and it might not be what you expect. Probably isn't. But moving on from there, what pieces of technology do you use in your walk with God?
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
The first one that we have on the list is a personal favorite of mine. It's how I do my daily devotions and things like that, my Bible studying. It's an app called YouVersion.
Yeah. You gotta attempt to
Yeah.
show them that sweet icon.
Very iconic icon.
You keep your
It's that brown Holy Bible thing right there with my Zelda background.
Yeah.
As a gamer nerd, when I play a video game, I have a very completionist mindset. Like, I like to see my progress checked off, and I like to just kind of keep what I'm doing, I guess, consolidated in a way. And I like to see my work and my actions, like, I don't know, charted and graphed and like whatever.
I think so. What you're getting at is you like in games a lot of times. Like if you go on a quest, you finish that quest, you get a big fat check mark, or it goes on your list of completed quests. Mm-hmm. There's no like, did I do that? Did I not do that? It's just very much like checklist. Like I've done this. It's great. It's very organized and stuff like that. And you feel a sense of accomplishment as that list gets longer.
Yep.
I've done this. I've done this. I've done this. I find the same thing with YouVersion. In fact, before I even found this, I was like, why is there not just a Bible app where you can like click a button when you finish reading a section and it will put a check mark?
Yeah.
I did years of Bible study before ever using an app. It can be really great to use the physical Bible. I don't recommend like throwing your physical Bible out the window. It's got good uses, but it can be very hard to keep track of like what you did. And the New Testament's a little easier because I can start and read every day. But when I started getting into like, okay, I want to try reading some Old Testament, it was really hard for me to keep track of, like, I'm at this place in this book, I'm reading the New Testament over here too. What have I read? What did I read last? Like, how far am I? And I would get tempted to just stay in one book in the Old Testament, but then I would miss the New Testament, so I would jump back and forth and get frustrated and start a whole new book. And it was just really hard to keep it organized for me. So there's a 1-year Bible plan you can get on YouVersion.
Amongst many other plans
Yeah.
that are incredibly beneficial, like 30-day prayer plans or something, or like a dealing with anger plan or something like that. It same sort of concept as what you're going to explain in the 1-year Bible in the checklist form, but
yeah, exactly. And some of it's videos, some of it's devotional content, some of it's something you listen to. Really cool. So me, I've got a whole list of like little devotional things that I usually don't do every day, but if I'm in a certain mood to do, utmost for his highest plan, I have that there on my list. I'll go there and I'll go to the next one on the list. It keeps a date tracker for how to stay on track, complete your plan in a certain amount of time. But if you don't get it done in that time, you can always just go back. And the 1-year Bible plan, you can click catch me up. So if you get 10 days behind, you're on vacation or whatever, and it doesn't get done for some reason, you can click catch me up. It'll jump you right back. You just keep on going.
It'll shift the last date that you read to the present date as like the last date that you read, and like it keeps the numbers on track that way.
And it's just really fun to check, keep it organized.
Read these Old Testament things, check it off. Read these New Testament things, Psalm and Prophet, check it off. The whole day is checked off.
I've learned a lot, and I've had a lot more confidence to explore areas in the Bible that I am not familiar with because of this app, because I'm able to keep track of my New Testament learning, my devotional learning, and my Old Testament. So the 1-year Bible plan, just to throw it out there, it does a New Testament book and an Old Testament book. So it starts at the beginning of the New Testament. You'll read some of that every day. Beginning of the Old Testament, you'll read some of that every day. And it just goes through, and it also does a psalm, like a chunk of Psalms and a chunk of Proverbs every day. And then by the end of it, you've read the whole Bible.
Yeah, the idea is to stretch each one of those things over the course of a year. So it's like you'll read 2 sentences from Psalms or something, because the Old Testament's pretty large.
Yeah, pretty long. So that's, as you can tell, probably our favorite.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of other cool things about it. Like you can have it read to you as you watch it. You can just straight read the Bible on there if you don't want to do a Bible plan. It's got a Bible on there. It's got like a million different translations that you can download. So that's really cool. It keeps track. Can't talk. I'm really not. It keeps track of your highlights that you make, and you can make little notes and stuff, and it's not gonna like. It's not. This is a bad thing.
Don't forget the pretty pictures.
Oh yeah,
you can make pretty pictures.
You can make pretty pictures to share with your friends on Facebook.
What's not a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing to like have your physical Bible and highlight things, maybe write a little note in there, but sometimes it gets messy and it might be hard to read, or it's falling apart or whatever. You've got like a digital list on the side of everything you've highlighted, and if you go back and you read something in the translation that you've highlighted previously, but then you come across it in like a plan or something, you're like, oh, I read this part, and it also got a cool place to keep your notes and everything, so it's not like right on top of everything you're reading, but the notes are over here, and it's so
awesome. It's so good.
It's got different color highlighters. It's crazy the amount of thought.
It's got pretty colors. It's got pretty pictures. Yeah, you can take verses and add a picture layout behind it, and then share it directly to social media. And we could go on and on about it. This isn't a YouVersion product review, but we would give it 2 thumbs up.
Yes.
Or between the 2 of us.
5 stars, 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Use again.
Blue Letter Bible is an online Bible resource. Tons of commentaries, tons of audio you can find. You can look up certain verses and get research on it from all sorts of places. I really like Blue Letter Bible.
Caleb uses it all the time when he carries his computer with him.
What? Oh, no. I use it a good amount, especially for gamer stuff.
He'll be at work doing his office job and then just pull out that Blue Letter Bible and be like, what can I read about fig trees today?
I think he's making this up. I don't know if it's based off of actual reality in any way, but Great website, blueletterbible.org. All right.
For a non-biblical
A non-biblical app we approve of is
Candy Crush. No. I mean, non-biblical in the sense of style. It's not like
this isn't a traditional. This isn't like a Christian app. It's not made for a Christian community, but we find it very helpful in our personal walk with God because we find that physical health. I'm not these muscles. Ow! We find that exercising, personally to us, lifting weights, and we were trying to get that cardio in, but it actually helps us to be in a better mood. It helps us in our walk with God. So I don't know how you say the name of this
I
app.
always say JFit, but it's JE Fit. Maybe it's JFit.
JFit.
Or something. It's like a bluish app. Hold on. Right there.
Yeah.
JFit.
Helps us log our keep track of everything.
It's basically kind of the same concept as YouVersion. It keeps all your workouts in an order, in a list, and you check them off as you go throughout your workout. You log how many reps and sets you've done or whatever, how long you've ran on the treadmill. And if you're lifting weights, you can keep track of your numbers so you know when to increase, and like you can motivate yourself by increasing and setting those new 1 RMs.
Yeah,
1 rep maxes.
If you like weightlifting, this thing is awesome because it doesn't matter if you're doing a lighter weight, more reps, or more reps, the more weight, less reps. It keeps track of your 1 rep max. So you're always trying to get stronger, always trying to do a little more weight, always trying to do 1 more rep, whatever it may be. And it has some sort of calculator in it for these exercises that down below that it'll help you to improve that 1 RM. So
which is really awesome and motivational, and usually pretty accurate with the 1 RM, what you should be able to do, unless you're Khalib and you blow it out of the water every time because you're like, I can fly 200.
Don't listen to this guy. Let's see, what else do we have? We use just the YouTube app, or I do, for music, like Christian music, and
channels.
Yeah.
You mentioned it.
Channels we mentioned earlier. And obviously we use like a laptop. We stream our church on the laptop to the TV a lot of times with different sermons.
Yeah. If we can't make it to church that week physically, we'll make it there technologically.
Yeah. So yeah, those are our favorite pieces of technology that we use. Okay, next question. I don't think we have any more in the chat, so if you have more questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. So, where do you draw the line on how much time to commit to YouTube? You have any thoughts on this? Or you want to blast away?
Go ahead and blast away, because I feel like you can do this better in one complete thought.
I don't know about that, but so it can be very easy. I don't know if it's more my personality type or what. It can be super easy to just like stare at your YouTube channel for hours on end, doing analytic research, trying to figure out exactly what you can do, or exactly what topic you need to make, exactly what type of thing you need to do, and schedule this far in advance, and
make the perfect thumbnail.
Yeah, and all those things, it can be good and important, but the issue is like you got to stay in line with what God asks of you or wants from you. So this summer, for example, it was my plan. I'm like gonna have all this time off from school that I'm gonna really go like blow YouTube out of the water and make videos like every week, and I'm just gonna schedule them ahead like half a year. And like this was my thought, like and okay, let's do the research. What do I need to do? What do I need to do? But I believe God had a different plan. He wanted me to spend more time improving and growing closer to him in different ways, including at my place of employment, with my physical health, things like that, with family, helping my family to get into a better place with God and our walk, in my marriage, getting married in like a month and 3 days. So
moving in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So not that you guys aren't important, but you just have to be open to listening to what God asks of you. So when your YouTube channel becomes less about God and more about what you want to do, or growth for the sake of growth, or getting bigger or more popular, like, it's not at all about that. It's all about God's glory. So just staying in tune with God and spending your own personal time with God and praying and listening, I think that that's probably the most important thing you can do to try to figure out. The other end of the spectrum is you can be lazy about it. You can, and I've been guilty of that too. It's like I watch, too much Chopped and Ninja Warrior, so I don't get anything done on the YouTube channel. Like, it's a balance. So you have to always be listening. Is God saying, you need to rest right now, or you need to focus on this? Or is he saying, go at it? Because sometimes sometimes I believe God, would ask you to really research and do that hard work, but it's in tune with staying with what he wants from you, instead of you trying to grow your channel. It's like having faith that God has you where he wants you. Did that make any sense?
Yep, nailed it.
Okay. Anything to add to that?
I think so.
Okay. How do you go about collaborating with other YouTubers? This is probably your topic completely. He's never had any part to do with this, but you look like you have something to say. So
I gave you this question. Okay.
Reading my notes, gonna act like he knows what he's talking about here.
This is more your area, because
A lot of this,
you run the specs of the channel. I am just a young acquaintance.
this Padawan over here.
Yes.
Maybe
run my channel one day in the future, called Caleb Faith.
What would that even be?
I don't know. Focus just specifically on Caleb in the Bible.
Those two things. Nobody would want to subscribe to half of that channel. Bible half they'd be into. Okay, so as ridiculous or weird as this is, like, it helps to be within the same realm of subscriber count or views. It doesn't always have to turn out that way. I have had channels bigger than me be gracious to work with me. I've had channels smaller than me come on because I don't really get that mentality. We've all been there to the low subscribers. When I'm looking to collaborate, I'm more focused on the merit of the channel. Where's their heart at? Are we in the same realm? There can be a great channel, by the way, that's just not really the same like audience. So I might do a shout out or something, but not going to be as likely to try to collaborate if they're two completely different things. I keep that fairly broad because I believe in making bridges and growing as people and meeting new types of communities and stuff like that.
Plus, you can share your community with one another. Some people go over here, some people come over here and check it out. It's a very effective way to spread what you're talking about.
Yeah, so we keep it pretty broad, but just I like to check where the heart's at and stuff like that more than the subscriber count. However, there is an element of, if you're trying to reach out to other people, you're more likely to get a response.
You stay really introverted and don't talk to anybody else on your channel. I'm getting a little silly.
You're getting silly.
Sleep deprivation.
Yeah. But
Quite the opposite of that, though. Yeah. What I said.
Yeah. Yeah. You want. You got a much higher chance if they're within the same amount of subscribers as you, a little more, a little less, whatever. But that's not always the case. So if you really feel led to try to reach out, it doesn't hurt to try. Don't be offended if they don't reply. Just, you know, hope and pray for the best. God has it figured out already. You do what's on your heart, and it's up to the next person to do what's on their heart. And just stay faithful to God in that. So within the same realm of content, like we were saying before, finding somebody with a good personality, good heart is really helpful, because you're going to be working with this person. And so far I have had great success, because everybody that I have worked with has literally astounded me, and I would hang out with just in free time for fun, because they have such awesome personalities. Like, I have made wonderful friends through doing collaborations. So I count myself blessed in that area. If you're reaching out to try to do a collaboration, it helps to, you know, maybe email them instead of comment, but do what you can do. And it helps on my end, I have found, to be more successful. If you say, yo, we should collab, like, and that's all you say, like, it's going to be less likely, because then they have to come up with something. They have to do all the work. If you reach out and say, I'm open to suggestions, I'm willing to do whatever, you know, it fits the, you know, scene, but here's an idea. Here's the thing that we do. For our channel, it's the Bible Study Hangouts. I generally reach out and say, I'd love to have you as a guest on Bible Study Hangouts. Unless you would rather do something else, we can discuss it. I'm open to discussion. But if you don't have anything else, like, is there a book of the Bible you'd like to study? So I have something prepared, like, hey, would you like to be a part of this? It's already ready. All they have to do is decide and come and be a part of that. So it's less work on their part. It's more relaxed to come in and be a guest on something than to have to come up with something.
Yeah. Kind of with any way in life, like, hey, do you want to come play this gig? Also, I need you to plan it and, like, deal with all the specs or whatever.
Yeah. So if you plan it and you have it all ready and say, hey, do you got a seat for you here if you want to be a part of this thing, you're a lot more likely to get somebody to volunteer. That opens doors, and that opens friendships, and for future stuff. For all of the people I have collabed with, and some of the people I haven't collabed with yet, I've reached out with, I have pretty strong feelings that it's not going to be the last time that I do something with them, because that friendship has been built. We're in it together now. We kind of look out for each other and trying to work together to serve God, and that's a wonderful feeling. So yeah, build those friendships and do it all in love, and seek kingdom treasure when you do that. And that's my suggestions for that. Got some ambulance. If you're an ambulance, I always try to pray for whoever's involved in that. Do you guys do that? I'm curious. Am I the only one who do you do
I
that?
do,
Yeah. If you do that, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear if other people do that also. But okay.
Looks like we're on our final question.
Final question. Go ahead and read it. Getting coffee.
How long did it take for you to grow your beard?
Oh, 1 hour.
Would you ever consider
That joke just
fell right through the cracks? Would you ever consider doing Tumblr full time?
You've got shaky knees. Stop. I'm afraid that the webcam is shaking. People are getting seasick over here. Would you ever consider doing Tumblr full time? What is Tumblr exactly?
I don't know.
See, this is where I have trouble growing. Is I am really bad at like social media. I don't know how to be a cool hip swag youngin.
Gucci mama on the
Go
internet.
Gucci on the social media. So like I can't do this. I'm bad at the pictographs and the face chats.
All right.
No, I don't have Tumblr. I don't think. But would you ever consider doing YouTube full time? Is the question. Usually I get loopy late at night, not like early in the morning. It's not a good sign. But
Yeah, this is the earliest we've gotten up in weeks, which is kind of sad.
yeah, it's pretty sad. So I have a lot of notes written down for this question. You want to read those notes?
So the biggest thing that comes with doing YouTube full time is oh snap.
All I have written down for notes on this question is oh snap. Because I didn't feel I needed notes for this, but this is quite a doozy of a question. Holy smokes, man. You're gonna knock coffee all over your own laptop. This is why we use your toys during these hangouts. This rambunctious young in here.
I can't sit still.
Kids.
Hey, I'm a man.
So first off, I guess I'll throw it out there that I have no thoughts or ideas that I deserve to be able to do YouTube full time more than any other of these YouTubers that I've met. There are YouTubers with 1,500 subscribers less than me that are just as worthy of doing YouTube full time as I am. So this isn't a question, or this isn't an answer of do I think I could, or do I think that I am worthy of being able to do YouTube so consistently that it is full time, because that is all in God's hands. And if that does happen, it is all because of God and his power and his message, and has nothing to do with me personally. So get that out of the way. Would I ever do YouTube full time? I would love to do YouTube full time. That would be fantastic to me. However, I am okay not doing YouTube full time. You count the money I've made from this channel, and it has cost a lot more, like physical money wise, than it has gained. And that I am okay with that, because this is a ministry. It's something we're trying to contribute to get kingdom treasure. So the kingdom treasure that we've got from this is piles and piles and piles and piles and piles more than what we have added to this. And that's because God can take something small from us and make something really special and something really big out of it. So I am fine with where this is, if this is where God wants it. If God wants to grow it and asks me to do this full time, or us, or whatever, or do something different or similar, I would be willing to do that, and that would be a lot of fun. I have so much fun with this. But if it doesn't happen, then we'll continue doing it this way, and that's where God wants it, and then that must be what's best, if that's what God's plan is. So
yep, opening your ears and your heart, your mind to what God has to say. He'll lead you not astray. Didn't like that sweet rhyme.
Yeah, pulling it over here. Wow.
Also, totally side note, not that Kingdom Treasure is a joke, but whenever you say Kingdom Treasure, I think of like indie, like action side-scrolling platformer. Like,
oh my gosh, cat's trying to break through the wall. An indie action side-scroller.
like Shovel Knight.
Like Shovel Knight. Oh, like it seems like it might be like.
Or a top-down.
I think like a
crawler.
phone app, Kingdom Treasure.
Yeah.
I like the term Kingdom Treasure.
Yeah, me too. It's pretty cool.
So, I guess that's my answer there. I don't really know how I can expand on that.
You did it just Gucci.
Yeah, if you're a YouTuber, you have to be okay with not doing it full time. It's really hard to get to that point. I used to be very, very like, ooh, I'm gonna make it full time. I'm gonna try all these things to try to get this monetized, so that not because I want money, but because I want to be able to do this full time. And that's an idea of reasonable merit. But just remember, you're doing this as a service to God. It's gonna likely cost you something, not gain you. Like as far as that, like money is concerned and stuff, you'll gain spiritual treasure. And I think it's only healthy to be okay with. We might have a surprise visitor here. Be okay with whatever God has in store for you.
Yes.
Typical cat. Begs out the window. Open the door.
Doesn't come out.
Doesn't come outside. He was naughty this morning.
Was he really?
Did he not wake you up?
No.
Come here, buddy. He started by howling. He's got a very sorrowful howl. Began by doing that. Then they collaborated with other YouTubers by charging through the house like a stampede of stallions.
Which Olimar is, he's getting thinner, but he's a relatively hefty cat. So when he storms through the house, it's like 300 storming your bedroom.
Yeah, and when that didn't work, he plowed directly into my fan and knocked it over.
The black one?
Yeah, the really tall black one. And then I got up to fix the fan and go to the potty. And it was all three cats standing in the hallway staring at me. And when they saw me get up, they didn't run or anything. They just started moseying over towards the cat bowls till there's other room, like strutting their stuff. And I was like, you're not going to get me that easy. So I went back to bed. I'm like, you're not going to wake me up by crashing my fan and get what you want. You're going to wait till it's breakfast time for you, like always. Why are you being like this? And then he started scratching some stuff near my bed, but out of reach. So I gave him the look and kind of left me alone. Then he jumped up on the bed directly beside me, and I gave him forced love for like 15 minutes, and that won the fight. He left me alone after that.
Nice.
I made him let me hold him and pet him for a while, then he ran away and left me alone. So
I'm amazed I didn't hear that. He didn't come in and bother me.
The moral is to don't fight cat hate with human hate. Use love as your weapon. Forced cat love always.
And with that, goodbye.
All right, we actually probably do got to go because we should get that church.
Gotta go watch some church.
Get those church bells streaming. Isn't that there's some song?
Carrie Underwood song.
Yeah, Carrie Underwood. Represent. All right, we're getting tired and loopy, so thank you for staying in tune this long. We love you guys. Let me know more comments in the comments below. Hope to hear from you, and hopefully we'll see you around here next time.
We pray you. We pray what we do, and we want you to pray us too.
Yeah, we'll pray for you. Please pray for us. Pray for Sam because he's crazy. But all right.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Love you.